Greetings to all our viewers out there. This is Grayson Sabanda and this is Group Think. Today, we will be tackling about number of serving portions and recipe costing through question and answer. But before we proceed, today's topic is entitled Calculating Portions and Costing with the theme Portions and Costing, a Big Help in Kitchen. And these are the objectives. To define serving size and actual costing in each serving, to identify how to minimize and budget your costing in a certain recipe, and to apply these certain topics in the kitchen. Lastly, this is the group's conceptual framework. Now, let me introduce to you the students I invited to participate in this video today. These students are from Christian Colleges of Southeast Asia School of Basic Education. Help me welcome Arcala Rafael, Dayaganon Junji, Ancheta Honey Jane, Ispolong Jemima Karen, Mahumut Emmeline, and Hikilan Pinky. And just like that, without further ado, let's get started. Knowing what numbers of serving portions is very crucial, not only in the kitchen, but in our daily lives. Can you tell us about numbers of serving portion?
Number of serving portions. Sometimes, the portion size and serving size are the same, but sometimes they are not. Learn how much you eat at a restaurant to help you decide what is safe for you to eat. Serving size is not a recommendation for how much food or beverage a person should consume. However, it is used to determine the portion size of a food or beverage. In reality, many items that are sold in single portions have numerous servings. You can find the serving count on the nutrition facts label on packaged foods, cans, cartons, and other surfaces. For example, look at the table of a 20-ounce soda, usually consumed as one portion. It has 2.5 servings in it. Or a 3-ounce bag of chips, which some would consider a single portion, contains 3 servings.
Right, that is correct. Thank you for that. Now, the question is, do you know how much you are eating? Accordingly, sometimes it's hard to tell if the portions we are eating are the right serving sizes of our nutritional needs. Portion sizes have increased drastically over the years, contributing to the rising obesity rate. The question is, how did it get this way? And why does understanding healthy portions can be hard?
Consider these statistics from the American Heart Association and the Robert Woods Johnson Foundation study, A Nation at Risk Obesity in the United States. Number 1. Adults today consume an average of 300 more calories per day than they did in 1985. And number 2. Portion sizes have grown dramatically over the last 40 years. And lastly, Americans eat out much more than they used to. Understanding healthy portions can be hard. Here's why. Many of us don't know what a healthy portion is. Restaurants offer extras like breads, chips, and other appetizers that add extra calories, sodium, and fat but lack any nutritional benefit. Some meals have portions that are enough for 2 or more people. Many convenience foods and drinks are priced lower but packaged in larger sizes to sell more.
To clear up the confusion, here are a couple of important definitions from the National Institutes of Health. A portion is the amount of food you decide to consume at one sitting, whether it comes from a package, a restaurant, or your own kitchen. There are frequently numerous servings in many foods that are sold in single portions. We have complete control over what we eat. Serving size is the amount of food listed on a product's nutrition facts label. Therefore, all of the nutritional information you read on the label applies to the serving size that the manufacturer recommends on the container. It's simpler to decide how much to serve if we comprehend the difference.
Wow, that was well explained and well comprehended. Thank you. Another question, how are serving sizes determined?
The FDA determines how much a serving is based on data from surveys conducted by the Food and Drug Administration or FDA. These surveys provide information regarding the amount of certain food and beverages that the average person consumes. In addition, serving size is determined by the food group listed on the food pyramid. A food pyramid is a tool that displays the types of food and recommended servings that should be consumed to maintain health and reduce the risk of disease. The serving size is based on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, which was established by the United States Department of Agriculture.
In addition to that, here are serving sizes of food. The serving sizes of food are dependent on the type of food that are being served. Too much fat in the diet can lead to health problems like heart disease. When a person consumes portions that are too large, he or she can experience a variety of negative health consequences.
That was very well understood. Thank you. Now we're done talking about numbers of serving portions. Let us now talk about recipe costing. Recipe costing is also a crucial and important thing to do in kitchens, restaurants, and in daily basis. Now, give us knowledge about what recipe costing is.
Recipe costing is the process of taking apart a menu and calculating the individual costs of each ingredient used for a specific dish. The added cost of each ingredient used will equal to your cost for a dish. Simply put, recipe costing involves figuring out how much it will cost to make a particular dish. It accounts for the precise quantity and the price of stock used to prepare the dish. The amount of prepared food you are going to serve in one dish or the edible portion should be kept in mind when calculating the recipe cost.
Thank you for that precise explanation. Now, how do we do recipe costing?
It is very rampant to us that we get confused about how you should go about calculating your recipe cost. I will mention 5 steps, following which you can cost your recipes just right. It will help you bolster your overall profit. First, write down the ingredients and their quantities. Make a list of all ingredients used in the recipe and state what the weight and measurement of each component used. One of the first steps you should take once you have the menu at hand is to list all the ingredients that go into each dish in order to accurately cost your recipes. The quantity of each ingredient must be carefully considered once you have a well-designed menu and have listed all the necessary ingredients. For instance, you could list the components of a burger on your menu, such as the buns, mayonnaise, patty, spinach, and vegetables. Specify the quantity of each ingredient you plan to use. Second, fill in the prices of the ingredients. You must consider the overall cost of each item rather than the cost of the precise quantity of ingredients that go into the dish. Here, you must also take into account the raw materials edible portion. The yield of the items can be calculated to accomplish this. For instance, if you bought 5 kg of onions, you would need to calculate the amount that can be eaten, including the peels. Third one, calculate the prices of the partial items. Each ingredient's weight or measurement is divided by the weight of the unit it is sold in, and the result is multiplied by the unit's price. This will determine how much each ingredient in a specific dish will cost. For instance, if you buy an 8-ounce pack of cream cheese for $2 and only use 4 ounces of it twice, if your recipe yielded 4 servings, the cost will be $1.
To continue, the fourth one is add it all together. Once you have the individual amount of each ingredient that goes into making a dish, you can easily add all these amounts. This step will help you determine the cost of the entire recipe. And for the last one, extract the cost of each serving and ideal menu pricing. Subtract the total cost of the recipe from the total number of servings. The price per serving will depend on this. You must choose how to price your recipe once you have determined its cost. Using the percentage of your ideal food cost is one approach to this. As per the industry norms, this percentage usually falls somewhere in the range of 28 to 32%, but it can still vary. So, if your dish costs you $4 per serving to make and your ideal food cost is 28%, then ideal menu price is equal to cost per serving over ideal food cost. So the percentage is equal to $4 over 0.28 is equal to $14.28.
And that is for the recipe costing. Remember, the primary reasons that make recipe costing extremely important are: recipe costing helps you to know how much food cost is incurred to prepare a dish. This gives you a clear view of how much you can earn per dish. And lastly, it plays a significant role in deciding the selling price for the items on your menu.
Thank you so much. Everything was well explained. Thank you for discussing everything, and not just that, but also for giving us tips that we can use in our daily lives. Thank you also for participating and lending us time for answering all the questions. And I think it all ends here. Until on to the next video for another question and answer that will give us new knowledge. Again, this is Grayson Subandal. Thank you for watching.